Today's question comes from Chris. How do you conceptualize leg and footwork to use ground force, if at all? I know you like hand speed and might just let it happen naturally, but if you conceptualize or feel this in any way, it would be good to hear your views. Do I use ground force? I mean, I do it all day. I use ground force all day. We all do. Just walking around, every time I step, my 200 pounds are putting force into the ground and the force is pushing back. Standing here, hitting a golf ball, I'm moving my weight, I'm pushing down here, and of course, I'm going up in the end, so I'm pushing away. The difference, I think, if someone would tell me, could you please increase your ground force? Could you put more force into the ground? I could do that, but I need to, let's say, do it in a little strange way. If I hit a driver, I want to hit up on the ball. If I hit along the ground, my leg is not pushing up much, a little bit. So this is more rotational force. Of course, I'm pushing this forward, so I'm getting a rotation, but it's not as much as I would do if I would try to hit it as high as possible. So when I tee it really high and I want to hit it up into the air, you see what happens? I start using this. And here's the problem. I really tried for many years to just gain speed. And when I started to tell my legs to extend, to do this more, I couldn't get the timing. I mean, my swing from the top to the ball is about 20 hundredths of a second. And I needed to tell my leg to extend. And it just felt wrong because I couldn't, if I did with the good timing, it was perfect. But I was thinking, do I do this? Does anyone do this in normal life? If I wanna serve or hit a volleyball high, do I really tell my legs to go up so I get higher? Of course I don't. I let my body do it. So I stopped after, I tried to do this for a pretty long time, I think about 2 years, because when these force plates came around, everyone, and still talking about ground force. And I think we should use it, and we all do, but it should come as a natural motion. So hitting a drive, this is not really my tee. I need to tell the computer it's a driver I'm hitting. But now I can't really hit up on the ball, but I can still feel that my leg is moving. This one will do more of that. It will extend more. And it's just because I want to try to hit up on the ball. That was actually a little thin. So the crazy part now, when I'm talking about it, I'm really trying to do it, and then it's not natural anymore, so it's not working any good. And when I see someone releasing really early here, and the club is really going up through the ball, they all do this. And the opposite is, if we go back to the iron, using a pitching wedge, I'm going the other direction. If I try to lift the ball up, I will do an early extension. I will use a lot of ground force with a short club. And that's not good. That's a reaction. My hands are trying to hit the ball up. That makes, I'm going to hit it high and short, maybe with a fast club, but not a good shot. So when we use this, if you feel that you're doing this with an iron, you're also 99.9% sure that you're doing this too early. Hitting an iron, I'm doing it, but I'm hitting the ball first. So I'm hitting down. As long as I'm pushing down, my leg doesn't want to extend, but then it comes afterwards. That's a big difference. So when I go down and then it comes because I'm going up to my finish position, then I use the ground again, but it happens completely different. And learning to use these patterns of movement and not doing it naturally, I don't think I need 3 lifetimes to do that. It took me 23 and a half years to understand fully what I need to tell my brain to hit a good golf shot with any club. And I thought about it every day, almost every hour. So if I would bring in and try, and I think one of the reasons is when I started to understand that my body was a very smart machine, I could really finish my golf swing. I could really get the result that I wanted. If I would start now and dictating rules for my lower body, it's like starting again. So am I using ground force? Yes, sir, I am. And I can feel, if I hit a lot of drives one day, I get tired in my legs. I get tired. So I know I'm using it. Will I try to use it more? I'm already using the maximum height of the tee. I can't hit more than 13, 14 degrees up on the ball. I'm not sure I can do more. And I've been on these force plates and it looks good. I'm not the fastest guy in the world, but I'm using the ground pretty good. So it's working. I'm using it, but I'm not thinking too much about it because I know it varies depending on what I want to do with these and what shot I want to hit. I use different amounts of ground force.